How's it going, everybody? Just did 2 Bible studies back to back just to get caught up. And I just wanted to remember the 121, which was on the jet, which relates to uh, 9/11 or Trump going down. And so we put the 121 through the portal, and we ended up with May 11th, which is my mom's memorial at the foot of where I lived when I was born, which was a 404 address, which is how many verses there are in the book of Revelation. And we know that the book is officially opened when Trump goes down. So we look at that 5/11 or that May 11th, it doesn't hit on anything special with the moon. It's in between, it's closer to the first quarter than it is the full moon of May 16th. Now, Israel's anniversary date is on the 14th. And for whatever any of that's worth. And but it's something to look out for because it portals back to September 11th. That's all. That's all that's about. And if you were to portal back through September 22nd, that would be 110, as 11 is the multiple or the next multiple of 11. Makes you look at April 30th, which is a new moon. April 30th, you have a new moon. And that is the date of 4:30. And that is a full moon at 4:30. And remember that numbering system, 2 times 7.154 gives you that 14308. Well, there's the 4:30 in the middle of it. So the other way to do 1111 is to make it a multiple of the next multiple of 11. You have to go back to the 1111 Make-A-Wish, which is very satanic. Of course, something you don't do. You're drawing in demons when you do stuff like that. Talking about seeing your angel. Yeah, you're seeing a demon. If you see 1111 on a clock, so on and so forth, making a wish. And again, something you clearly don't want to do, but it makes you think of November 11th. Sure, of course. Or portaling to and from 11s, because the portal doesn't land on an 11 and 11, I don't think, except for the May 11th and September 11th. I don't think you can land on 11s with the same, putting in the same number through our portaling system. But if you made it a 110, which is 11, and which is 11, and you add it to and from, it does take you to the new moon and the next progression, or what would be the next 9/11. Now it's 9/22 as you double the 11 or take the 11 through the next progression. Just different ways to look at stuff. If nothing ends up happening when we think it will, and we think it will, during the Donnie Darko month. I just saw somebody make a case for, I don't know what it was, the 22nd. And we have to remember that a calendar was shown in Donnie Darko where the whole calendar of October was X'd from the first day through the 22nd, and then it stopped. No more X's put across. So starting on the 23rd, it was just left blank. And, so we're taking a hard look at I don't know if we've got it in there, We don't have it in there, so I guess we can add it. So hang on just a second and I'll get it all fixed. All right, so if we can remember everything here, Donnie Darko is also the initials DD, which is 44. So when you put 43 through the portal, you get February 23rd going up, which is 223, which is 322 backwards. And if you move 44 backwards through the portal, it does fall on a Saturday, November 27th for Baron Saturday. So that's a day also to look for. So let me pause. So to get that January 22nd with a Donnie Darko calendar, you go up 12 days from the portal. If you go back 12 days, I got the wrong date in there, don't I? Hang on, did some goofy math. Now I think we've got everything ship shape. Go up 12 to 22nd per the Donnie Darko calendar. That's X'd out. You go backwards. I think that's a Wednesday, December 29th. Doesn't really give us much there. If you go backwards, of course. The 44 for Donnie Darko DD. Again, the 322 in reverse, February 23rd. Backwards, you do land on Baron Saturday or November 27th on a Saturday. Or Donnie Darko DD, go up 4 days, back 4 days. You get January 14th, which is 3 days before the full moon. And that's pretty much, I think, on a Friday. The 10th is on a Monday, 11th Tuesday, 12th Wednesday, 13th Thursday. Yeah, it'd be Friday, January 14th. And if you portal backwards, that's when the flooding of the school took place. Well, if he were to go down on the second one, I think he would. And 4 days later, because that's what was shown in Donnie Darko's movie. It comes up October 2nd. And the next date shown is October 6th. And that's the school flooding. So if he were to go down on the second and you get La Palma, and remember that scene where the rabbit in the eye, the rabbit's getting its eye dotted out on the 18th. And just afterwards, it cuts to the waves. That's a pretty big moment because it makes you think after the dotting of the I comes La Palma. So in my best vision of what's coming, or my best take, I guess I should say, or the way I picture it or see it, just based off hunches, just based off of their predictive programming, is that he would go down January 2nd and the flood would hit on the 6th, which was the big day last year, January 6th. So that's all, that January 6th would be La Palma. And just, little things to think about. And I did key in that 67 from the 318 Touch TV show that I showed y'all yesterday, for March 18th, which was what the movie centered on. But we said we just have to any date they give you, you got to portal it. So they gave us 9/11. Well, you got to portal it. He's not going to go down on September 11th. I mean, if he does next year, then they got us. They faked me out. But whatever they give you, you have to portal it. Except for the case of Donnie Darko, they gave us October 2nd. We just do an overlay of January 2nd because it's a complete overlay. In other words, they gave you the calendar in Donnie Darko. But since they gave you January 2nd, you can portal it through to the 18th when there's the dotting of the I with a rabbit. But to me, when they're dotting the eye of the rabbit, portal that back through, it lands on the 2nd, which is when in the movie he actually dies on October 2nd, which was the birthday of Dukakis, who was a themed character. And they interviewed him during the Trump presidency with him and Hillary. Dukakis was literally interviewed. So that all goes back to October 2nd, when Trump said he had corona, which portals us up through the solar eclipse, which gives you a corona, for the abomination of desolation day of April 20th, Hitler's birthday, full solar eclipse. So Hitler responsible for World War II, and then Trump on that day would give you the ending of World War III, both having to do with Adolf Hitler in one way or another. And of course, all of your movies, from Quentin Tarantino movies, everything seems to be based off Hitler one way or another. And it was because of Hitler and the Holocaust that you put Israel back in the land where the abomination takes place. So you have to draw all those things back to a central figure, Adolf Hitler. And so, like somebody said, they said how Hitler, which is HH, which is 88. But tomorrow is November 4th, portaling back 67 days from what they gave us on the TV show Touched. So that's really our next date is tomorrow, which is on a Thursday. And it's nothing to sneeze at. 67 has just been a tremendously big number. The Lord was just like putting in my face. Now, I thought it was for a different reason. And if he doesn't go down on November 4th, I'll go back to that original reason. It's just more of a personal reason. And but maybe the personal reason was just to get my focus. The Lord will focus, will use your flesh to focus you. And again, everything to do with numbers was just fleshly, just like astrology. And the Lord, he knows you're in that fleshly body where all you think about is self constantly. And he will take it and use it for spiritual things as he's bringing you out of your flesh. He will, and he's giving you more of the Holy Spirit, and he's pulling you more and more out of the world. As he pulls you out of the world and out of your flesh, you start to see that the things that you thought were related to in the flesh now relate to something more spiritual, if that makes sense. Like in the flesh, I was all about my second wife for physical reasons, for the eye, to covet, to desire something, which actually brought me through my salvational process and brings us to the end times Donald Trump, if you remember that whole story. So that's 67, a number that came to me in the flesh, but if he goes down tomorrow, well, then there you go. And I think we're done with portaling. Michael Jackson, the director of Edward Scissorhands, was Tim Burton. Burton also produced A Nightmare Before Christmas and was based on a poem that he supposedly wrote. The running time of the movie was 76 minutes or 1 hour and 16 minutes. The box cover of The Nightmare Before Christmas shows a character riding a wave in front of a full moon. Well, that's interesting. Nightmare Before Christmas, Tim Burton. There's the wave of the tsunami. Here's your mind control logo. That would be Trump, Day of the Dead. He's dead. That would be Lucifer. And there's your full moon. The nightmare before Christmas. Well, if you portal it through, because isn't that a backwards 6 for Disney? 666 Disney logo. You got a 6 and a 6 and a 6. Well, that's a backwards 6 for Disney. That's your backwards 6. Frontward 6. Frontward 6. So there's a lot of ways to skin that cat. And what I'm wondering is if it's the nightmare after Christmas. Now, the nightmare before Christmas gives you that cellar door, full moon, December 18th, which also 201 for event 201. I mean, surely we don't hate that. 37 days, you get that snow full moon. But when you go back to the 18th, do I just not even have that on there? Hang on. Yeah, we had it on there. It was up here. 23, the number 23 from Jim Carrey's movie, the number 23, which you go back 23 days, you get the cold full moon. You go up 23 days, you get Groundhog Day, which is also my divorce day. Can't help but feel that day has meaning. So, based off everything I've shown y'all with how that marriage connected to numbers relating to Trump, 88. It was 88 all over the place. It was 88 two different ways. And so, and of course, it ended on Groundhog Day. If you portal back through, you get the cellar door and 201 for event 201 day. So I should key that in. So now I think we're done with portaling. But yeah, thank you for that, Michael. That's big. Jet leaving Afghanistan. Somebody said that was an inflatable jet, and it looks like it. He said, look at the black windows. And we know that they're all about bringing in the new world under Lucifer, because the crescent moon is for the feminine. The moon is all about feminine. They have the moon on their flag. Trump is the moon child. He's all about the divine feminine. And that's what that whole religion to its core is about, the goddess. And it was just so cool that he said it was inflatable. I would have never thought of that, but we knew it wasn't a jet because it would have been sucking everybody up through the I just thought it was a jet turned off and it was coasting, but it could be inflatable. I'm not dogmatic about it, but it could be inflatable. If you don't think they can make a Goodyear blimp, if you don't think they can't make an inflatable jet with all the technology they have today, you just don't know these people very well. They can do just about anything. And so once you start getting on a computer with a photo and rub things out or put things in, then you've got exactly what you want. So I have no problem with that being inflatable, that's for sure. That was everything. You want to use that for a thumbnail? Let's do it. We'll use it for the thumbnail. Thank y'all very much. Love y'all. Keep them coming.